Hello, hello. Welcome back to Lizzie Bites Games. Today we are doing just a brief nibble of Connect, Don't Jump, of the Last Caretaker, a survival crafting game set on a flooded Earth. And I'm a robot who is charged with saving humanity. So we will. Oh, crap. What? No, stop that. The phone is ringing.
I keep calling old numbers. They tell us not to. But silence feels worse than being wrong. Sorry if this bothers you. I'll hang up soon.
Oh, that is new. The first one I've seen, I hadn't gotten it to work before. But that is one of the new sound bites that they're doing for the logs and the memories. All right, now let's start over. We are playing The Last Caretaker, which is a survival crafting game set on a flooded Earth. And we are a robot who is tasked with saving humanity, most of whom have flown off into outer space, not without drama, as you can see. So I'm doing a couple different things. First of all, I'm testing my microphone, which I won't know until afterwards. The other thing that I want to do is I want to check out one more thing at this facility that I was at. You are only half full. Eventually, I want to come down here and sort through all of my stuff. 'Cause I don't like the bazillion and one um, boxes of it all, right? It bugs me to just have boxes all over. It also actually kind of bugs me to have a bunch of stuff on the wall, too. All right, so let's put an icon on here. That was weird. You are not my, well, I guess you're my double brains. Oh no, you're my humans box. There we go. Oh, yeah. Okay, good. Looks like two little eyeballs. Okay. So that is the sun coming up. That's good. What is my boom boom looking like? Let's put you to the holster. And all right, that'll do. You don't need to be there. I will, however, make a small battery because I think I was almost out of battery juice at that space that I want to go turn on. You are a medium battery. You are a small battery. So we're just going to build. Now, one thing that I need to figure out is what uses polyurethane? Isotope staplers, stabilizers, nano mesh, no, solar cells do not. Filtering systems. So I have so much polyurethane, but what do you use it for? Compression pump. All right, what uses? You use a compression pump. You use a filtering system. You just use one of everything. Hmm. I'm just carrying around way too much of this silly stuff. I did say build it, right? Did it? Use screen. Oh, I must hit the wrong thing. Yes, I did. I wanted a small battery, not a small water tank. Waiting for materials. Oh, add missing parts to queue. What I'm gonna try doing is making, ultimately what I want just a big box, one big box full of everything, full of each. So one rubber, one plastic, one iron, etc. And then the overflow is just going to get dropped on the dock and it can sit and wait for me to come back for it. Or, no, loot, small battery, thank you. It can sit and wait for me to come back for it, or I can make a bunch of stuff out of it, which is the stuff that I would need anyways. So, like something to take on to places like this where I have got something like a box that just has the solar panel. It's making noise. Oh, I'll bet you there's still a bunch of the critters around. We're gonna ignore that. Be over there. All right. Now you are. Hmm. All right, let's just turn you on and see how long you last. Okay, so I've not dismembered or recycled anything. So around here, there's that button in the middle. There's that thing down there, which I think is one of those in-floor recyclers. Here's the thing. If it's an in-floor recycler, where does it come out? Where do the materials pop out? Because there's like another one over here. Yes, that is a recycler. So, that's great, but where are, did I just, oh, I dropped it. I'm like, did I just loot a traffic cone? Where are the pieces coming out? Is there a bottom floor to this that I'm just missing? Are they over there? All right, that's very convenient that there's a bazillion and one things up here that we can just chuck into the center. For example, you can just chuck that down there, which is fun, but it doesn't get you anything. That was the roof. I don't think there was anything on the roof. Now, you're a recycler. Wait a minute. Yes, this spit something out. So where did the other one spit out? Jump, 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 jump. Loot all. It like holds on to them down. You can see them. That is so cool. All right. Okay. Okay. All right, game. I'm getting it. I'm getting it. All right. So that's the recycler in the center. I guess one thing I wanted to also try was this says call elevator. Call elevator from where? The first time you pitch that or you hit that button, I think it summons the rolly balls from here. I could have sworn I heard other rolly balls at some point, but nothing else has popped up to try and hit me. So, all right. Well, that answers that question in terms of, I think the batteries might have died. That answers that question in terms of how those recyclers work. Is there anything else up here? You need to scan these a certain number of times, but sometimes you can get away with, you can only scan them once and sometimes you can't. Are you the one making that noise? Hmm? Are you winking at me? Hmm. Yeah, someone gave a round cat some machine guns. Obviously, either there's too many cat people or not enough. Because that's not, oh, there it is. Before you set up a bunch of recyclers down here, however, I think it's important to get the power set up in this area. And I don't quite have the patience for that at the moment. So I think I'm just going to help myself to these containers. Question answered. That's good to know. And we will head off into the wild blue yonder to go to what I hope. Oh, meant to do that. We will go to what I hope is the next new location. I'll just pick up whatever happens to be handy along the way. Like this. Whee! I can come back here later. This looks like it's encouraging you to jump overboard. Is there anything down there? This is one of those games where if you try to do it perfectly, or when I try to do it perfectly, I sometimes burn out a bit because there's not really a linear narrative. You can do things. There are some things that should be done before other things, because you get there and you discover that uh, said thing isn't available because you don't have the prerequisite. But they don't really have things that are locked off. Yes, I have plans for back here, but you're full now. Well, we're just going to have to drop things then. Sometimes it can be a little hard to to keep your train of thought, obviously. Oh, you can't check things in when it's not turned on anymore. That's interesting. Used to be you could interact with it um, when it was turned off, and you could just sort of store your junk in it. There's a little bit of iron. All right. Oh, that's right. I'm overflowing with iron. I'm ridiculously overflowing with iron, apparently. All right. So I want a little mechanics box, like something that will just have a solar panel, a wind turbine, a medium battery, and some pipe or some connector hose. All right. Where I want to go is, well, the ass end of nowhere, really. We need to go a lot of places, honestly. Anchored, yeah. And I don't use my diesel when I move, because it's a pain in the butt to create the silly stuff. It's got all of the extra steps and things. Although I do have a diesel generator, which I assume I could. Why am I not going anywhere? Actually, wait. Stop. Anchored. Am I connected to this? I am. Why am I not going anywhere? Thunderingly obvious reason, she says. All right. Now let's try that again. No. No. Relearning the buttons after so long. All right. Now I should be moving forward. The new update allows you to create those mooring cables, but I'd forgotten that I did that here. So this was the Rollerboi Facility, which is down in the lower southwest corner. Obviously, what I want next is up in, I believe, the upper northwest, northeast. You can see Exodus from here. Somewhere in among these habitats is the Mother quest line, which has a really good reward. And I did do the Transposium or the Maze quest. That one's done. So I still have Mother. I still have the one that has you going underneath the water to explore a couple small cave systems, although they say that the reward for that is not the best. We'll see. What I need to do in order to make this silly little robot pet that you get back at the Rollerboi facility is I need a certain type of ore, which I've not found any. And I'm guessing I should confirm this by watching other YouTubers, but I haven't. I am guessing that you can find it in the new biome, which is like rocky outcroppings in the ocean, so the tips of mountains and stuff, I guess, or the encrusted remains of skyscrapers. Who knows? The It's a natural habitat rather than a man-made one, which is very interesting, and I would like to see what that looks like. Now we need to swing close enough to this to put it on the map, but not to get hit by any of the mines. As I was saying before, the thing about games like this is that if you're super completionist, if I'm a super completionist, I tend to burn out a bit at some point. I just like, all right, I'm done now. And if I'm not super completionist, then I get a bit random and it becomes I miss things and I get turned around and I have too many quests going at once. All right, night is falling and I need my next target. I think we'll try putting you on the map. So I don't want to burn out on this. I also don't want to be here forever. We're at about 20 minutes, a little over. So I may go ahead and cruise through the night on this and then start another video when I get to where I've gotten. Since I run off of the electric motor and it takes a while. And part of this was just to check to see what the sound sounded like. And it's a floater, but I have way more materials than I need. So I'm going to let that go past. And we will wave hello, goodbye to Exodus and to one of the beacons. And I will see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.